All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk to you about a company called Volta Inc., stock ticker VLTA. They are a small cap, high growth stock in the EV sector. We cover these quite a lot. So if that's content that you're interested in, also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And everybody, if you would do us a favor, please smash the like button. It helps us a lot. Let's get into Volta. Volta is currently trading at $2.76. Today is Tuesday, April 12th. So the trading day is over. It was down about 5% today, and that was basically because everything was a little bit down on the day, particularly in the EV sector. Nothing unusual today. However, the stock has been acting unusually over the last few months, and I'm going to dig a little deeper and show you why. I did a deep dive on this about 2 weeks ago. Basically, this company had some bad news, and they crashed about 20% in one day to their all-time low at that time. They have since then continued to go down. They've put out a press release that I think is very important, and I want to go through that press release. And in addition to that, I want to talk about their stock price, and I'd like to look at them in compared to their direct competitors and show you how their stocks are behaving versus how Volta is behaving. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the press release. So this says Volta Inc. provides business update. Now, one of the things you should know is they had two main problems that I discussed in my last video. One of them is that there was some major turnover at the executive level in this company, which is always concerning to stockholders. The other one is they did not file their financial statements on time, so people did not have their December 31st, 2021 financial statements yet. They are still not filed. However, they did put this press release out subsequent to my last video, at least giving some clarification as to what's going on, and I think that is very important for investors. So I want to just run through this real quick to kind of update where we left off in my last video. Volta Inc. provides business update. The company expects to report fourth quarter and full year 2021 revenue of approximately $12 million and $32 million respectively. So that's $32 million of revenue for the year 2021. So that pretty much was in line with what analysts' expectation was. So I think that was an important thing for investors to know. They did expect to lose money this year. This update does not get into that, but it is likely they lost at least as much as analysts expected, if not more, or they would have said something. So probably everything's slightly on track with where analysts were, could be a little worse. Then they say expect first quarter 2022 revenue to range from $8 million to $8.5 million and provide full year 2022 revenue outlook of $70 million to $80 million. Now remember, their sales in 2021 they just announced were $32 million. Even the low end of the scale is more than double that at $70 million. And if we take the average and call it $75 million, it's a significant increase year over year in sales. Okay, and then they say they expect Form 10-K filing to be delayed, which they had already told us. There was one other piece of information in here that I wanted to go through. They say total stalls connected as of December 31st, 2021 was 2,330. So stalls are their EV charging stations. So for lifetime to date through the end of the year 2021, they had installed 2,330 of these units. For 2022, the company expects the incremental connected stalls in the range of 1,700 to 2,000. So that is not quite double their lifetime to date, but it is a significant improvement. So you can see they're expecting a giant jump in deliveries and therefore, as a result, in sales. So I thought this provided some clarity where there was none. So this should have had some positive effect. Obviously, we would still like to see the 10-K filed and see exactly what's going on here. So there's still some uncertainty looming over this. However, this did answer, preliminarily anyway, a lot of the questions. Most specifically, they gave us full year sales for 2021 and they gave us full year guidance for 2022. Those are two big pieces of the puzzle. Now, this press release was about 10 days ago, and yet they still have continued to go down the stock price of Volta since then. So I want to look at their stock price. I want to look at a few of their competitors, try to compare a little bit of apples to apples, and then look at the chart and see what's going on. Because for whatever reason, in my opinion, this stock is very much oversold. I thought it was oversold when I made my last video, when it was down 20% in one day, and it's continued to go down since then. So I guess I would reiterate that I think it's even more oversold right now. But please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm telling you how I'm looking at this stock. I'm going to show you my thought process. You guys can do your own due diligence and make up your own decision on whether or not you think there's value in this stock or if it's just too volatile and dangerous. For the year 2022, analysts are expecting $76.6 million of revenue. The company themselves guided us that it was going to be between 70 and 80 million. So we can see the relationship there. The analysts are basically split right in the middle of the company's guidance. And then they also told us that this year's sales was $32 million. With sales of $32 million in 2021 and a market cap of $446 million, that puts them at a 14 price to sales ratio. And you can see they're doubling their guidance for next year. So they're going to be more like a 5 or 6 price to sales ratio. I want to take a look at what their competitors are doing because this is the lowest price to sales ratio out of the 4 major EV charging station companies. So I'm going to start with the biggest one, ChargePoint. They are a $5.5 billion company. So that is more than 10 times the size. And I will tell you, this one is less apples to apples. ChargePoint is the biggest player in the space in the United States. Blink and EVgo are a little bit more apples to apples as it pertains to the volume of sales. But I wanted to look at this one anyway. So even with this much higher volume of sales and much higher market cap, their trailing 12-month price of sales was almost 21. So this was 50% higher than Volta's. And this is the lowest one we're going to look at. Next, let's take a look at Blink. So Blink is a $1 billion company. That is more than double Volta. Blink's price to sales as of December 31st, 2021 was 68. So you're going to see Volta and Blink have very nearly the same sales projections. In fact, I think Volta is projecting more sales. They had more sales in 2021. They're projecting more sales in 2022, and yet Blink is much more than double the market cap of them. And again, a 14 price to sales ratio versus a 68 price to sales ratio. There's one more, EVgo. Let's take a look at that one. So for EVgo, if we look at the price to sales ratio, the trailing 12 months, they're 39 price to sales. To me, that's one indicator that versus its peers, this seems to be an undervalued stock. Okay, we'll start with Volta's chart on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candles is 4 hours. On February 10th, Volta was trading at about $5.80. It's currently at $2.75. So that is a significant difference. So this red line was their all-time low. Okay, they didn't quite get to it here back on February 24th, but they candle wicked down to this line on March 8th. So that was their all-time low prior to this day, which was their down 20% day, this giant red candle right here on March 28th. And that is the day that I made a video feeling like this is oversold. It was sold past the point of its all-time low. So what I was looking for and potentially hoping for was to gain support here at this level. However, that did not occur. You can see Volta has gone down since then and is now setting lower lows and lower lows, including today, a new all-time low. So really the only news that came out in the middle was an update giving some clarity on 2021 revenue numbers and forecasting 2022 revenue numbers. So this stock's now 24% lower than its all-time low. A stock that can't seem to find a bottom, it's hard to say where the bottom is. So this is your falling knife situation right here. And again, please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm walking you guys through my thought process. You guys have to do your own due diligence and decide based on this level of volatility, based on the fact that this is by definition at this point a falling knife. You know, you may not want to invest in this, or you may decide the risk reward is worth it. But please do your own due diligence and make your own decision. I want to show you 2 more charts that put this time frame right here into a little bit of perspective. This is the Volta chart on the 1-day time frame, and this dates back to November of 2021. So this is the last 6 months. You can see I've mapped on here ChargePoint and Blink. The only reason I didn't put EVgo on here is it did even a lot better than ChargePoint and Blink. I'll throw that on there at the end so that you can see. But even just compared to ChargePoint and Blink, in the last 6 months, those are down 25% and 33%. However, Volta is down 71%. And you can see they were going along pretty much together in November, December, January, and even up to February. And then at this point here, they seem to part ways. All the other stocks headed up while Volta started heading down. I'm going to add EVgo just so that you can see it. So you can see when I add that, they did even better than the other ones. So again, Volta was down 71%. EVgo was actually up 20% in that same time frame. So that is a 90% performance difference between the two. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, this is February, March, and the beginning of April here, because this is really where everything diverged. For whatever reason, these stocks continued an upward trend, and Volta has just plummeted. So you'll see both Blink and ChargePoint are up 16% since the beginning of February through now April 12th, whereas ChargePoint is down 44%. That is a 60% difference in performance basically over the course of the last 2 months. So I believe that some of this turmoil and uncertainty has put Volta at, in my opinion, unreasonably low level. And I do think as information comes out, what I'm counting on is, even if it's not great information, the uncertainty will be taken out of this equation. And I think this will gravitate more back towards the other stocks. You can see they were previously trading together until February when Volta started to get some disturbing news. Again, I'm going to add EVGO to this chart just so that you can see. So if I do the difference there, Volta is down 44% in the last 2 months, and EVGO is up 50%. So drastically different performance. But you can see, although these are not identical, the other 3 companies in this space tend to be trending in the same direction, while Volta has been trending in the exact opposite direction. So for me, I believe these will start to reconverge, and it will be through Volta catching up to their competition. Again, this is not financial advice. This is currently in the middle of falling and setting lower lows every day. So please be careful. I'm dollar cost averaging in, but you guys may decide that this is too dangerous for you and you'd prefer to stay away from it. So I just wanted to do a catch-up video on Volta because I felt that was really important information versus the video that I did a few weeks ago. So I hope that helps everybody. Please, again, remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.